beautifuls. No, you do not switch over to another channel. This is Manna Reads, and this is the BL Can't Save You podcast. If you're seeing this video, it's because you've chosen to see it or not. I don't know. Anchor is trying this new thing where you can choose to see video or not. So, and they said, hey, you can test pilot for us. So here I am. If you're wondering why my co-host is Natalia, she's out doing Natalia things, but she'll be back soon. Don't worry. So we're just gonna get ahead and get started. So as usual, we usually start here with the housekeeping. I know it's your favorite segment, but basically, let's just go. So BL shows of the week. Monday is DNA Says I Love You from Taiwan. Now, you can find that on Gaga, and you can also find it on IG, which I didn't know that until I saw it on my IG. So, be aware that Gaga and IGE are paid subscription apps. So, just, decide if that's something that you want to invest your time in your money. So, now, Wednesdays is Dear Doctor from Wabi Sabi from Thailand, and that is on Wednesday, and that's stars Nat and Karn. If you don't remember them, they're kind of old school, at least that they were in a BL called Gray Rainbows. I liked Gray Rainbows. Now, and I do want to warn you, it is a bit sad, a little bit, and spoiler warning. But you should check that out if you want to see them in OG action. All right, moving along here on Thursdays, we have Cherry Blossoms After Winter. That's on Viki, and that's from Korea. On Fridays, we have our packed schedule over here. So on Fridays, or as Twitter likes to call it, Fridays, we have on Shantae, which I think it's ending its run pretty soon. We have My Ride. Enchante is on GMM TV, so that is on YouTube. My Ride is on Gaga, and Our Days, which is on Gaga. Quarantine Things Season 2, I believe that's on YouTube, but I also believe that is a paid subscription. That is from the Philippines. Secret Crush on You is on Fridays from Idol Factory. That is on YouTube. On Saturdays, we have Cutie Pie, La Cuisine, which is a new-ish, cute, very cute BL I want you all to watch because it's adorable and I need people to talk about it with me. Anyway, and The Tuxedo, which is on Gaga La Cuisine, and The Tuxedo are on Gaga. Although, Gaga did make a post on Twitter saying that I think the Tuxedo is going to be moved up to Fridays. So then, if you're a big fan of Champagne Green, then look out for that new day change. On Sundays, we have a show called One Love, and Physical Therapy, which is on Gaga, and Cupid's Last Wish, which is the highly, I don't want to say controversial because I haven't seen the new episode, so I don't know. But apparently, GMM TV went to, according to Twitter, of course, so this is not verified. But the rumor goes is that GMM TV went to P-Off and said, "Here, please fix this." And I have seen some comparative shots from when it was on Disney Hotstar to when it went over to GMM TV, like the YouTube channel. Huge difference. It looks so much better on YouTube. So, and that's on Sundays. That stars Earth and Mix, by the way. And that one's the body swapping one. So, there you go. So today, and then we have our premieres that are upcoming for the month of April. This is not an exhaustive list. I want to thank the Worlds of BL for having a website where I can, scan these for you. But basically, the premieres for April are Kin Porsche, which is, of course, the highly anticipated mafia drama from Beyond Cloud. They had taken over the production from, I forgot even who. Anyway, that's going to be on Saturday, on April 2nd. That's going to be on IGE. Now, as far as I know, they said that the rating was going to be like 18 plus. I have been hearing some rumors that they may have like a censored version that's PG-13, although I'm not sure about that. It is on IGE, but if they don't show it, I think if they don't show it outside of China, then they don't really care. But like I don't sure. I'm not sure. But if you're looking forward to that, then that's gonna be on April 2nd. Friday, April 8th is Star in My Mind. That stars Jung and Dunk. Please don't at me if I get that wrong. But basically, Jung, if you are familiar with that name or you haven't heard, he's a new gym and TV boy. He's not new to the game, but he was part of Two Moons 2, the new cast with 9. But anyway, he has a new partner, Duck. Anyway, if you want to correct me, please do so in the comments down below. Anyway, so that's going to be on April 8th. That will take over for Enchante. Saturday, April 9th is What's Up Man, starring Bankbo. I say starring Bankbo, even though I know that the second leads, and even though that upsets me. For various reasons, I think that Star Hunter has done them a disservice. Because they were like one of the best things about Gen Y season 2, and they deserve to have lead status. I'm not gonna go into it that much, but there you go. They're gonna be like the second leads on What's Up Man, and that's gonna be on Star Hunter now on their YouTube channel. Now I do know that they are charging for you to be able to watch this. I don't know how much, but it is gonna be behind a paywall on their YouTube channel. Tuesday, April 12th, there's a new BL. Well, obviously these are all premieres, but there's going to be a BL called Meow Ears about a cat boy. So from the trailer, I'm not sure if it's a cat and then he just turns into a boy, or he's like from a different planet and it's like, and he's a cat and he has ears, and I don't know. But anyway, I know that people are kind of already upset about the wig and the CGI. I don't know why they try. It's really funny to me that they do this, especially with like CGI, because it's like, why? Because it doesn't look right. It never looks right. But you know, they're gonna try anyway. So it's about a boy and his cat who turns into a man or a boy. I'm not sure, really. So those are the things that are happening around the Twitterverse. Of course, it's not an exhaustive list, but there's some of the big highlights. As it is just me, myself, and I today. I wanted to actually touch base. So I'm not going to talk about a BL. Well, maybe I am, but that's a little later. So basically what I was wanting to do today is there's an exciting development happening. There's going to be a GL, which is Girls Love, if you didn't know. Starring, well, I'll go through the list later, but it's going to be from Idol Factory. If you don't know what Idol Factory is, it's the same company that does Secret Crush on You, and it's the company that's run by Saint. Saint is a very prolific and well-known and well-loved BL actor. He's done other things, but people mostly know him. Well, people know him from the BLs here. So yeah, so he made his own company, and he's had one successful show under his belt. I hear Secret Crush on You is doing very well, so I anticipate that Gap will also do well. Now, I'm very excited about Gap because one, it's the first real GL that's not going to be a side couple. I mean, there's going to be side couples because there's like a lot of people in the cast, but the main couple and all the leads are going to be females, and they're going to have female relationships with other females. And I think it's about time. It's probably been about time. I'm excited about it. It is adapted from a novel by the same name, Gap. The link now, you can purchase it. It does have an English translation from Meb. Meb is it's Kindle, but in Thailand. But they do have some titles or Asia. I'm pretty sure it's from Asia. But they do have some English translations of certain novels there. You can find Cutie Pie on there. You can find a couple. You do have to look for it. They're not all that easy to find. But anyway, Gap is available for you to purchase on that application, MEB. And I will also link that in the description for you. So if you are interested at all and want to read the story before you see the series, that would probably so I don't know about adaptations, because sometimes, and this is a good example of like, sometimes like it's not going to be exactly the same because it's a different medium. In like film and like TV series especially, they don't always have that much time, and so they can't fit everything in, so there may be slight variations of it. So just if you pick up the novel, just be aware that all the things that happen in the novel may not happen in the TV series, so just keep that in mind as you're reading. And especially if you're reading the series, if you're reading the novel and seeing the series at the same time, then just definitely keep that in mind, because things may change. Things probably actually will change, because they generally do. So the reason why I'm so excited about this is because it's the first GL from Thailand. I believe it's been a long time coming. But I'm also kind of a little scared because there was some recent grumblings on Twitter. We're like, well, why does it have to be so good? Like, we give so much passes to BLs. And while I think that may be a little true, I also think that it's because there's so many BLs, and not all quality is the same, right? You're not going to get the same type of shows. It depends on their budget. It depends on how seriously they take their stories that they're adapting. There's a lot of different factors that make a BL either really good or just just not as good, I would say. However, there's not very many GLs to compare Gap to. Gap is really going to be the first. And it's going to be a test of how well GLs can do. And so while I feel that may be a little unfair, it's going to have to perform. Because if it doesn't perform, that means people can say, even if they make a really great series, right? And even if everything falls into place, like they have really good storylines, they're very beautiful, and they are very beautiful ladies. And, they have everything that you need to make a good series. But if the numbers aren't there, if the sponsors can't make their money back, in terms of product placement and merchandise and things of that nature, that just kind of means that they can't make money off GLs. And what do investors really care about? Money. I mean, unfortunately, that's true. And that's true for BLs too. And the reason why BLs do so well is because, they have merchandise, and they, market, and they do, all the extra things that they need to do in order to create buzz for their shows. Like for example, I don't want to compare Gap to Kin Porsche, because they're two very different shows. But just in terms of marketing, Kin Porsche is doing a really good job of marketing. They already got a big luxury car sponsor in Maserati. No, this is it's a fancy car brand. And they have already outsold, or they already sold out of a box set. And none of the episodes have aired as of yet. It's still oncoming. They just announced that part of the English translation was going to be available on Meb as well for the novel. That I think Vegas, the actor who plays Vegas, Bible, did it himself. So and I think one of the other boys, Build, did the artwork for that, and so that was just announced today on Twitter. Um, so they're already doing a pretty good job of marketing and making sure that people are going to watch this once it drops on the 8th. And the boys already have a huge following just because of all the promotions that they've been doing, and not a single episode has aired. So that just goes to show you that sometimes you would think like, oh, why is this company doing it this way, and then you see like, oh wait, but they're actually making money, and the sponsors are getting back their money, like they just are. So in terms of that, and that's really what matters to people who invest in these shows. They really couldn't care that much about the stories or if they're even good. They just want to know that they can make money off of it. And so in that regards, Gap really has to do well in the numbers for companies to pay attention and for companies to think that other types of these programs can make the money. And that, in theory, will open the door to more kind of diverse storytelling. And not just in BLs, but like just a different type of roles that we see, right? Because as of right now, we've only seen BLs, and now we're going to see a GL, but we haven't seen any stories that that have other people on the LGBTQA spectrum, right? So we still haven't seen somebody that's like non-binary. We haven't seen anybody who's transgendered get a main storyline. We haven't seen people who are ace get represented. So there's still a lot of paths that are open and that are just waiting to be kind of given a chance. And so in that regard, I feel that Gap has that potential to do that, but it really has to do exceedingly well for other stories to get that kind of a chance. And it's just unfortunate in that regard because BLs don't have to do that much to get attention. They don't. They really don't. They just have to have pretty guys doing fan servicey things, and and then people just kind of eat it up, and it's just true. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I'm not saying that there's anything that's wrong. Of course not. Everybody's just trying to make their coin. Like an example here. So in a recent photo, because Idol Factory has started to drop some photos for Gap. So in a recent photo, there, I think it's two of the actresses are in a giant bathtub and they're bathing, obviously. Now, if there were two men doing that, nobody would really raise an eyebrow or nobody would care. That's part of the job. But because it was two women, I saw some of the comments saying like, "Oh, that's not respectful. Oh, like how come you're just selling them based on their based on the sex appeal?" I'm like, how do you think these shows get made? It's like, don't be a hypocrite. You're not watching BL. I mean, yeah, sometimes the storylines are amazing, but like mostly people are watching it to see two men make out, and sometimes in bathtubs. So it's just like, get out of here, please, with that hypocritical stance. Like, how do you think they're going to sell this to you? And the good thing I think about Gap is that the writer is a woman and she wrote it for women, like most BL is. So I don't, have any issues with that. But I just found some of the comments to be a little hypocritical, or a lot hypocritical, really, because it's like, what do you think sells these things? Before you can get the story, before you can get a plot, how do you think they're supposed to sell this to you? to you to want to consume it, right? It's like, it's not rocket science. They're just doing their jobs. And for you to say, like, oh, that's such a cheap way to sell it. It's like, look at all the BLs that they sell to you. And tell me that you don't watch it, or that some people don't watch it just because they see a bed scene. Come on, just tell me. I mean, it's okay. That is perfectly okay. Because you know what? I'm not above to say that, like, when I'm watching for BL, or when I'm, trying to see, what new series are coming up. If there's a bed scene, I'm going to pay attention to it. There's nothing wrong with that. But for people to be like, oh, it's because it's women, they should be more respectful. I'm like, how do you think they're not respecting them? They're getting paid to be in that bathtub and to take those promotional photos. They're being paid just the same as the boys. I hope they get paid the same as the boys, because that's another thing. Women are generally paid much less than their male counterparts. So I'm hoping, but I don't think Saint is the kind of person that would do that, because, like, Saint's the boss or whatever. So I'm pretty sure Saint is paying them the same, because I just feel that he's that kind of a person. And he's a smart businessman, So there's no doubt about that. But what I'm saying is that, like, how do you want them to promote this show to you? Do you want them to promote with, like, just them in a library and not, in, like, holding some hands like this is a Jane Austen novel? I mean, I guess. I mean, that could work for some people. I mean, it would work for me too. But, like, that's just not how most people operate. And that's fine. But, like, don't come up in here and be like, oh, like, this is wrong. It's like, okay. Well, if you don't like this, then you shouldn't be watching, all those, like, half-naked men on a bed. I mean, that's just simple. If this is offensive to you, then don't watch BL, because they're doing the same thing. It's just all women. That was my rant about GL, and about how I feel like it's just not getting a fair shake. I mean, it's not, but I'm hoping. I'm really, really going to support the series. I don't care if it's going to be, like, mediocre. I don't care if it's going to be, like, just the most run-of-the-mill show you've ever seen in your life. I've watched plenty of BL that are run-of-the-mill, and I've enjoyed them. So I don't think that this is going to be any different. Am I hoping for a really great story? Of course. Like, I do want this to have a good story. I did buy the novel. I haven't read it yet because I've been busy just doing all the other things that I do, but I do plan to read the novel. I don't know if I'm gonna read it at the same time I'm watching the series, because I feel like I don't want it to kind of, like, skew my reason, or, like, my thinking about this show. I just want to watch it kind of at the same kind of face value, but I do plan to read the series. Yeah, so that's my rant about Gap and GL, and how it needs to do really well in order for more GLs to be made, because this is going to be a giant test, and they need to pass. They really do need to pass. If they don't pass, then it's going to be a long, 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 long time for investors to think about making another GL again, or just be willing to have other stories to tell. But that being said, I'm going to go through the cast list for you, so that way you know who is who. So Freen is starred as Kun Sam. Mine as Newegg. And I do apologize if I am mispronouncing any of these. I am going to do my best with pronunciations, so just bear with me. Cream as Sang, Look Nam as Jim, Noe as T, Polly Chan as Cade, Erwin as Yushi, Kit Ron as Nop. He's the first male in the cast. Well, I don't know the first male, but he's one of the only males in the cast. Oi as Jin, Yaya as Onegi, Mint as Ia, Ada as Noi, and Heng Asa as Mr. Kirk. So he might be like a boss. Again, I apologize if I mispronounced any of these names. I am not proficient, but I hope I did my best anyway. They do all have their Instagrams. I will also try to link those for you as well if you want to follow them on Insta, so you can show them some love and make sure you post positive, nice comments for them. Because this is the first time that there's been a GL, and oh, I forgot the biggest one actually. Rebecca or Becky Armstrong. She was in Turn Type. She played Mew's little sister, so she's going to be one of the main. There's like four couples, and she's part of the what? She's part of one of the couples. So yeah, so she's gonna be in it as well, and I honestly, I love Becky because she understood the assignment as soon as she got it. Her on-screen partner just started doing fan service, and I am here for it because I like and I stand people that understand their assignments. So I'm all here for them, you know, doing the birthdays, doing all the things that the BL boys do. I'm here for it. So then they're really hot. They're really pretty. What's not to like? But anyway, so she's gonna be in it as well. So I will try to link all their IGs for you, so that you can follow them. And just remember, just leave like nice comments on their Twitter profiles and on their IGs, so that way they know that, you know, just to kind of like just let them know that everybody's looking forward to it, and that, you know, we're all really excited for them to do this, and for, you know, thanking them for taking on the roles, and for, you know, kind of being willing to, you know, take the test for this, to ensure, you know, that we get more diverse storytelling, because it's all really what it's about. It's all trying to get more diverse queer stories to be told. And so I think that the more successful a different type of project is, the more people are going to be willing to pay for it. Well, it's going to be on YouTube, so it's going to be free, so that's good. But like, what I mean by pay for it is, I mean like buying merch, you know, going to fan meets, and like doing all that kind of promotional stuff, and like, you know, going on TikTok, retweeting, you know, all that stuff. Even if you don't buy merchandise, right? Like if you do like retweets, that's a lot. That's support. And if like a couple hundred people retweet, that's already a lot of, you know, that's a lot of promotion there. And you don't, nobody has to buy anything. No one, you know, has to pay any money for that. It's just free advertising. So, you know, just doing that helps a lot too. Yeah, so just retweeting, just trending when, you know, there's trending events, you know, having your favorite ship and hyping them up, all that kind of stuff helps. And it's definitely going to help them, you know, as they're promoting, and as they're like taking all those fan pictures and just all that general goodness. So I'm excited about it. Let's see, what else? Let's see, what else? I think that's about it. That's all I really wanted to talk to you about today. I just wanted to talk to you about GAP, make you aware that it's happening. At some point, get you all excited for the first GL, and giving the ladies some love. And, you know, just being open to the idea that there's going to be a different type of story that's going to be told. And, you know, and just having an open mind to it, and just hoping that it's going to be successful. I really do. But hey, if any of the cast members want to come onto the podcast and talk about the show, you're more than welcome to do that. Because here at the BL Can Save You podcast, we're all about exploring new ideas and talking to celebrities. Just kidding, we're not. Anyway, you can follow me on Twitter at flukenational.com. You can visit our website at blcan'tsaveyou.com. We do have some new merchandise that Natalia made. There's some hoodies. There's a nice rainbow hoodie that's there. There's some bucket hats. I think we got like a thermos. We got a thermos cup that you can buy. That would really help out the channel. Also, if you feel like just donating a little bit, there's a new donate button on our podcast as well. So you can hit that for some support, so that we can make more great content for you. But I hope you enjoyed listening to this podcast and this episode about Gap. Natalia should be here with me for the next one, and yeah, we'll have more fun. All right, bye.